finally back to do a get ready with me. I don't even know where to look. Welcome back everyone. Today's video is going to be a new Chatty get ready with me. So clearly got my hair in rollers. It's been a few hours already since I've had them in, so they're kind of looking in rough shape. And I tried to put a different shirt on at one point and was like, that's not gonna happen. You can't take out the rollers. You can't change your shirt until you're ready to take out your rollers. So we are just going to get ready, and I'm gonna be using some of the products that I got on the recent Creators and Friends trip. So I have like some single shadows from Cliondah Cosmetics, the stained glass. I have some complexion products from Salt New York. I have a lip liner from Unearthly Cosmetics, a lipstick from Fantasy Cosmetica, mascara from City Beauty, and an eye pencil from Surratt. And as I get ready, I'm just gonna be talking a little bit about Creators and Friends because it's actually a business that I co-founded. So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about it, also our recent trip to New Orleans, and answering some of your questions that I have seen on the internet. So let me get you zoomed in and we'll get started. Okay, so first up, I did apply my sunscreen a little bit ago because I'm heading out to an event that is outdoors, so I just used my Bliss tinted sunscreen, one of my favorites. And then I'm going to be jumping into complexion products. So like I said, I have some products here from Salt New York. It's been a little bit since I've tried Salt New York, but the founder Kiki was on the trip with us to New Orleans. I'm trying to pop this blush back in without putting my nail in it. Like I was saying, Kiki was on the trip, and at one point she did talk to everyone just a little bit about like founding a brand and like how it works and all of the things, and gave some tips and tricks. And one thing, I was kind of busy at the time because again, this is my business. So while she was doing that, I was like setting up for our next brunch. So I was kind of like in and out of the conversations, but I did hear her say that these are best applied with a dry sponge. And then when I've been watching some of the videos on Creators and Friends and like some of the get ready with me's, people have also been using a dry sponge. So I'm a little bit nervous because I don't normally use a dry sponge, but that is what we are going to do today. So I am starting off with, I put everything into this magnetic palette, but then I also realized I'm gonna like pop things out so I can read them. But this is the Sneaky Balm Hydrating Skin Tint in shade N11. Sneaky Balm. I'm going to apply some of this to my DSMD shop sponge and then start to blend. Like, this is so strange for me to use it with a dry sponge, but we are going to. I am off to an event tonight. It should be a fun one. It's a meet and greet with Nelly. With Nelly. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll go. And then I have a dinner after that. So Ashley's gonna come with me. I'm so excited to hang out with her. I was actually kind of wondering if she would be here earlier because I was gonna make her film with me since we both have to get ready together, but she's not here yet. And I was like, okay, I really do need to film this video because I wanted to use some products from the trip. That looks really pretty, right? And that shade match be looking good. That's pretty. I'm gonna do half my face. Okay, Kiki. Listen, Kiki became one of my favorite people like immediately. She was there like a day before everybody, and so I got to hang out with her a little bit before like the whole crowd of 37 other content creators came, and we just like instantly had a ton of laughs, like connected. It was so much fun with her. And okay, this side has the Sneaky Link, the Sneaky Balm, the Sneak Around. This side has the Sneaky Balm, this side doesn't. Wow, that looks good. That looks very natural. Like, it still looks like my skin, it just looks better. Ooh, and it says it's a hydrating skin tint, which I'm very into because I do have dry skin. Okay, okay. So again, to jump into it, I have talked about Creators and Friends in some past videos as well. Creators and Friends was started by me and my partner Simbri, or Simbri Thinks on Instagram. And we basically, kind of where the idea came from is that we were like, we should do a girls trip with our friends. And then it kind of spurred into like we could do something bigger, and then it spurred into an entire business. So you never know where like the small ideas will take you, but we are both interested in event planning. We both have some background in event planning as well. That was a major of mine in college, was travel and hospitality, which included event planning. And I've worked in the event planning space for several years, actually, wedding planner, like corporate hotel, like all those things. So it kind of seemed like a natural fit for me. So when we decided that we wanted to take the concept a little bit bigger, it was exciting and it was a little bit overwhelming, but definitely more exciting. And what we did first is we took 20 content creators to Charleston last May. Unfortunately, it was right at the time, literally 2 days before I was supposed to leave. My dog was diagnosed with cancer, given 3 days to live. So I ended up not going on the Charleston trip, which is still like a very sad memory for just the whole time around. Just all very sad memory. The 1 year of that is coming up, and ooh, ooh, causes me some anxiety because I feel like literally for this last year, I just feel like I've been living in a complete fog, and realizing that we're almost to that 1 year mark has me like, okay, Samantha, like you can't like live in a fog forever. You have to like get back to real life. So that's what I've been really trying hard to do the last little while here, when I realized it's almost been a year since her diagnosis. But we took 20 creators to Charleston, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it and get along with one another and just have fun and have an opportunity to hang out with one another. This is a very solo career. A lot of times what we do, we are by ourselves, we're filming by ourselves, and especially since COVID, a lot of our events stopped and then never started again. So it was maybe once a year I could go to like a Generation Beauty and meet other content creators. That's how I met a lot of people in this space. And then those kind of stopped. Our thought was, can we do something that brings community back to the community, if you will? So once we realized that Charleston was such a success, we definitely wanted to do more of it. We hosted a holiday party in Las Vegas. That is where I live. We hosted a holiday party in Las Vegas, and we had about 60 content creators come to that. It was just a one-night event. So fun. Really had so much fun with everybody. Truly, the party, the after party, like we all be having a good time, okay? And I love Las Vegas, so it was so fun for me to show everyone around and take them to the different places. And we just had the best time. And then most recently, we had 37 content creators go to New Orleans. If you're thinking that's a lot of people in one space, you are not wrong. There is a vlog of it. Sometimes I left the noise in so you could like understand how loud we were at every given moment, but it was such a blast. Next up, I'm going to use the Best Case Concealer in N12. I'm trying to decide if I want to use my sponge or if I want to use like my little Sonia G brush. If I want to use my sponge, I kind of want to use my brush. Maybe use my brush for right now. The Sonia G Soft Concealer Brush. Our idea behind Creators and Friends was simply to bring creators together and, you know, hopefully they form friendships out of it, or they are friends that get to see each other again, because we don't get to see each other a whole lot. That was kind of just like the main gist of it, is like fostering connections within our community. And then we also did reach out to some brands once we decided that we were going to take Charleston in a, you know, kind of a bigger direction. We did reach out to some brands to see if they wanted to be involved. We also especially wanted to reach out to influencer-led brands as well. There are so many content creators that have gone on to form their own businesses, beauty businesses and beyond, which is so exciting. So actually for Charleston, our first, you know, kind of like premier sponsor that we had there was BK Beauty, which was started by Lisa J. So we worked really closely with BK Beauty. We had like their branding throughout the house, you know, their products beautifully set out. They got us some really, like I use my water bottle with my name on it all the time. It's literally in the room next to me because I have my tea next to me right now. But my water bottle and sweatshirts and other swag like that. So it was really exciting to be able to bring on a few brands for that first trip, to be able to give the creators some product and also some experiences. ColourPop came in and did a master class with a local makeup artist. And then we also had like a brunch hosted at the house. Lisa came from BK Beauty and spoke to all the creators during one of the dinners. So that to me was also really cool, because there is, you know, definitely a business side to what we do, and a lot of that does involve brands. So we also kind of wanted to make it our mission to link the creators and brands, but in an authentic way, and what we hope is an authentic way. So instead of Creators and Friends, instead of looking at it as like a brand trip, where you're typically going with a singular brand, a lot of times you're focusing on a singular product. They're releasing a new eyeshadow palette, a new foundation, you know, something along those lines. The trip is more focused on the content creators and the friendships and the connections between them. And then we do also have brand involvement, which I do think has been, you know, it's interesting to me because it's my business and You know, I obviously see the business side of things, but on the flip side, I still also am a content creator myself. So it's just kind of interesting to get both worlds, because to me, some of the brands that we've been able to work with have been so exciting, and you know, I maybe wouldn't have an opportunity to work with these brands or try their products or different things like that. And in New Orleans, we had some brand presence as well. Sigma Beauty actually was a returning sponsor. They worked with us and put products into our goodie bags on our Charleston trip, and then this time around they actually wanted to be our house sponsor, which is what BK Beauty was for Charleston. So again, we kind of had like the Sigma swag all around, you know, some Sigma branding in the house, like Sigma pillows, great things like that. They did have like a whole little goodie bag section for themselves, but then we also got to have dinner with the founder of Sigma Beauty, Simone, and hear her speak, hear her talk about the new Cool Neutrals palette that's launching on May 2nd. So that was really exciting. Cliondah Cosmetics had both of their founders come down, who are two sisters, Lee and Maggie. They came down and led a nail polish making workshop, which we've gotten the feedback, like everyone loved that so much. But they also enjoyed being able to meet the founders and ask questions to them, which I thought was very cool. We had the founder of Surratt Beauty come down and speak. So different things like that, which we don't get to have those experiences. And even if we were to go to like a Generation Beauty or an Ipsy, those are so big and so overwhelming. The first time I went to one, I was with Ashley Clady and Makeup Molly, who was just here in Vegas visiting me, and I was terrified. They had already been to one prior. That was my first one, and I just sat back and was like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna follow you guys around. You guys can talk. I don't know how to talk to brands. I don't know how to talk to people. Like, I was terrified. This was in 2018, I'm pretty sure, and I had no idea what I was doing. Versus when we do something like this with creators and friends and we have brand presence come in, it's on a much smaller scale. Even though we had 37 creators there for New Orleans, it definitely still is on a smaller scale than this like huge convention with all these booths and all these people, and you know, you have such a limited amount of time and you're trying to hit every single one, and everyone else is trying to hit every single one, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people there. This is I don't know if I want to use the word curated, but it's definitely a more intimate gathering where you get to really ask questions. And you know, I was able to hear some of the content creators say like, this product, you know, really helped me with this issue, or saying how much the brand inspired them or how much the brand meant to them. And I feel like, I can't speak on behalf of anybody, but I feel like as a founder of a makeup brand, that has to mean a lot when you get to meet someone in person and they tell you, you know, how much they love your products or how much they love your brand or what you do. I just imagine that that has to be a pretty cool feeling as well. So again, we're very, we say this a lot, that it's not a brand trip. It's definitely, to me, it's more of a creator trip, but we do have the brand involvement in those certain ways. And also, of course, that does help us be able to put on these experiences. You know, Simbri and I don't have any investors or anything like that. The creators do pay to come on the trips. No one is like paid to be there. There's no posting requirements either. So typically on a brand trip, you'll have some sort of deliverables or, you know, something along those lines. Any content that you've seen posted from creators and friends is what people have wanted to post. They do not have any posting requirements to come. They could get everything, they could enjoy everything and not say a single word about it, and that's fine. Like, they're for the memories, and that's fantastic. So to us, it's just kind of a different thing, and I think it gets compared to a brand trip because that's what we've seen for so long. So it's kind of the only thing that people are like, what could we call this, because it's something that's so different in the space. But for us, it's definitely more creator-led trips started by two content creators ourselves, just wanting to do something different in the space and to be able to give people some opportunities and some memories that maybe they wouldn't have. Watching Jen Love's when she was talking about this in her live chat, and one thing she said that really stuck out to me was, I've never been invited on a brand trip and I'll never be invited on a brand trip. She said, like, my window for that has sailed. And I think the same thing about myself. I don't like, I can't envision it happening for me, especially since we've had such a new wave of content creators in the forms of TikTok and things like that. Kind of your OG YouTubers basically just feels like been left in the dust, which is fine. And I know a lot of us are still here and we're still making YouTube videos because we enjoy it and we enjoy the community aspect to it. I don't think that I will ever have an opportunity like that, so why can't I make that opportunity? I've talked about this a lot on my channel. I really believe that we live in a world where we make our own opportunities now. We make things happen for ourselves with the technology and the information we have. I just don't see why, if you want something, make it happen. I love traveling. I love getting to see my friends. And I still love this community very much. There's so many brands that I love so much. So why can't I make something happen? You know, and it would definitely be really hard to do myself. I actually was starting to plan something like this. That was supposed to happen in October of 2020. Obviously it had to get canceled, but like Molly was helping me with it. Ashley Clady was helping me with it. I had several people that were helping me put this together. So being able to team up with Simbri has just really been amazing, and I hope that we're doing something that we can keep going and expanding and growing, and keep making more opportunities for people to be able to come along with us and make these memories. So yeah, that's just kind of what I think. Like, if you want something and you're not getting it, like, how can you make it happen for yourself, you know? Okay, I have to say that I think this concealer looks really good as well. I'm vibing with these products right now, and everything feels very lightweight on me because, again, I live in Vegas. It is getting really hot outside, okay? And I just don't want to feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. Like, the concealer looks really good. I haven't even set it yet. The concealer's looking really nice. My skin is looking good. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do my brows quickly with the Benefit Precisely My Brow. So that's a little bit about, I don't know, creators and friends and why we started it in a nutshell, and a little bit about it. Again, the brands that I'm using in today's video were involved in Creators and Friends New Orleans, either in our goodie bags or, like I said, like Cliondah did the nail polish workshop. I didn't get to do it myself because, again, as the business owner, I was off doing other things like getting ready for the next event and then like taking down events and all of those things. So I know I saw some comments from people saying like, oh, I wish that you were able to do things, which is so nice. But again, you know, kind of being involved in event planning throughout the years, it's just not really like the way that it goes, which is totally fine. And that's something that I know when I like said that I wanted to do this with Simbri, of course, is that like there has to be someone behind the scenes like making things happen, and that's me and her. So that means that we can't like fully participate in everything, but to me it doesn't matter because I just like it truly brought me so much joy to watch so many of these videos that have gone up and to see these creators talk about the friendships that they made and the memories that they had and like the good experiences. That's what really matters to me. I've been able to do some really cool things in this career, and I've always kind of thought about like what would come next in a way, because I don't think being a content creator is like a long, I don't know if I want to say like a long-term plan, but I think even from when I first started, I was kind of like, okay, like what comes after this? And always in my head, I had to still somehow be involved, just not as the one like making content. I just didn't know what it looked like. Like I thought for a while about maybe even owning like my own PR agency or like managing other influencers. I just wasn't really sure. And I don't know why event planning never really occurred to me, since that is my background. But it was started around like 2018, 2019 that I was like, wait, why can't I, you know, do like I saw a space in the industry that I felt was missing, and I was like, why can't I do something like that? And then obviously with 2020 it went off the rails, and then I went through a lot personally. I got a divorce and had a pretty significant move. I've recently had, you know, the loss of my dog, but it feels really exciting to get back into it. And even though I still, you know, am a content creator and I still post every single day on every single platform, it is exciting to think about doing other things as well, yet still being involved in the community and still, you know, hopefully doing some cool things for other creators. So definitely one of the biggest questions that I have seen, like that I've like had come into myself, or I've seen in other you know, videos and comment sections that have gone up, is like, how do we decide who's invited and why aren't certain people invited, and you know, that sort of thing. So of course wanted to touch on that in this video. So you know, I'll say for Charleston, like I said, it started off not as a business, it started off as a girls trip. So Simbri and I invited our friends. And then from there, once we decided we'll make it a little bit bigger, we asked our friends who their friends are, and that's how we got to who we took to Charleston. And then from there, when it came to New Orleans, we basically did the same thing. We invited everybody, every single person who went to Charleston was invited to go to New Orleans. Not every single one could attend. And then we asked those people, like, who are your friends? And then we invited them. And I think one thing that's really hard for me as like the owner of the business, and also someone who's like an empath and just like wants everyone to have a good time. The hardest thing for me online is seeing people say things like, well, why wasn't this person invited? Or I can't believe you didn't invite this person. Because I want to say this in the nicest way possible, but like, we've never posted our invite list. That's never been public of like every single person we've invited and why they've said yes or no. So I like, sometimes when I see people say things like, why wasn't this person invited? And they say it with such strong conviction, like they know that person wasn't invited. I guess I don't know how they know that. Because again, we don't have like an invite list posted publicly online. So I will say that we have invited a lot of creators. There was even some to Charleston that said no, which totally understandable. It was a brand new concept, a brand new idea, like. And even some of my closest friends that I have in the community are like, I love you, I love this idea, I don't want to go hang out with 20 creators for 3 nights. Like, totally makes sense, right? So we had, you know, even people saying no to Charleston. I would say probably for New Orleans, we had like maybe half of our original invite list said no. And then even for our next trip is going to be in Palm Springs in September, we've definitely had probably over half of the people we've invited decline. And they decline for different reasons. Some people simply don't want that kind of social interaction. I was watching in Jen's live chat, I was watching Audra in the comments that was like, hell no, would I ever do that? And I was just like laughing at her comments. You know, so some people just don't want that type of social interaction. Some people don't want to be around so many people for an extended period of time. You know, we all stay in one Airbnb together. Some people, that's just not for them, and that's totally okay. That's honestly probably the biggest reason why we get declines. And so it's so funny to me as I like read comments and I see like, why wasn't this person? I'm like, they were invited, they didn't want to go. Or not this person, they were invited, they're getting married, so they want to put their like money and their time and their energy into their wedding. Like, it's just like my friend, like I want to like say this in the friendliest way, but it's like my friendly reminder of like, there are some things that you don't know. There's some things like you don't have the knowledge on. So sometimes when people come on the internet and say things like so resolutely, and I'm just like, oh. And majority of people decline typically because they just kind of don't want to be in that social setting, or sometimes it's just too long for them to be gone from their family. You know, some of the creators we invite are like single parents and they can't be away from their children or get childcare for that long, which totally makes sense. Like I said, there is cost involved. The creators do pay to come onto the trip. This helps us secure the house because again, Simbri and I don't have investors into the company. We can't really, you know, front an Airbnb for 20 to 30 creators on our own. Also kind of where the brand sponsors help us come in as well. But the creators do pay a space to be able to come on the trip, and then there is travel fees included as well. So they're paying for their flights or they're paying for their gas, things like that. So some people don't have the extra money to be able to travel or don't want to put it towards that. They want to put it towards something else. So that's another reason why we get declines. I'm going to use the Sculpt and Bronze Cream Tint Pro in light medium. Again, I'm just going to keep using my sponge for right now. We have some people who maybe are pregnant, are due around that time, are getting married, have bought a house. I mean, there's like so many, you know, personal reasons that we have seen from people of why they can't take essentially a vacation. You know, some people are not full-time content creators and they do have a more traditional job where they can't take that amount of time off work. Because for our trips, we do normally go during the week. So some people cannot take off like that. So there's just a variety of reasons of why people don't come on the trip. It's just something that I wanted to throw out there, is because you don't see someone on a trip doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't invited. Again, I'm like watching Jen's reviews and seeing all these names and I'm like, I know why that person said no, that person said no, that person said no. I'm just trying to be the friendliest reminder that I can. And also at the same time, Simbri and I don't know everybody. That's why we asked our friends, like, now who are your friends? Like, who would you invite? And then we can take those people, because there was a lot of creators on the New Orleans trip that was my first time meeting them or my first time seeing like their pages, you know? And same with me, like not everybody knows me, not everybody knows Simbri. So maybe some people simply don't feel comfortable going on an extended vacation with a bunch of people they don't know, that they haven't heard of yet in the space. Of course, our hope with Creators and Friends is to grow so people are more familiar with us. But off the bat, you know, again, just some of these videos, people are saying like, why wasn't this or that person invited? And I'm like, I've never even heard of that name. Like, I can't know everybody. I would love to, and I would love for our Creators and Friends database to know everybody. So that's why we want to continue to expand, and we want to continue to ask people, if you want to be on our database, you can email us, you can message us, you can DM us. Creators, Friends, Events is our Instagram. Follow along over there because we have, you know, we're going to be doing another holiday party again this year. So if you would like to be included on that and all of those things, please let us know that you are out there, because we would love to know. We hosted the holiday party last year in Las Vegas, and Simbri and I were like begging people, like we were both in our Instagrams using like the question feature, like write in like who you want to see at the holiday party, or if you're a creator yourself, like let us know, we would love to invite you. I think we sent out like 400 plus invites and we had 60 people come. And again, that was, you know, holiday time. Not everyone's going to want to travel around that time. Not everyone's going to want to come to Vegas. It was just a one-night event. Some people might not think that's really worth it. Some people can't get away with work, especially over holiday time. And there's, you know, sometimes there can be like additional expenses around that time as well. But yeah, we were trying to get as many people as we could to our Vegas party. Honestly, I had like a pretty low response rate for that. You know, we're gonna have our holiday party again this year. We hope more people will want to come. But again, if you are a creator, or if you know someone who is a creator that you think like they might really like this, please let them know about us, because we would love to have you. Obviously, when we do our trips, we can only bring between like 20 and 40 people on these trips. So it's like we can't invite everybody, but we definitely want to keep expanding and also being as inclusive as we can and doing the best we can on our part. Again, we can't force anyone to go. I can't make anyone go on a trip or anything like that. We can just do our best to keep expanding, trying to keep getting the word out, and that sort of thing. But we would love to have more creators on the database, for sure. Okay, also this bronzer is looking so nice. Like, I'm really thriving with how my skin is looking right now. Okay, having a great time. And then I'm also gonna move over to the Salt New York blush. This is the Lip and Cheek Cream Tint Pro in Rose. Again, I'm just using my sponge. I'm really liking these products. These products are really nice, especially if you like cream products. And if you're gravitating towards cream products right now for the warmer months, if you're in the warmer months, ooh, these are looking nice. I'm curious to see how it'll hold up. You know, I gotta go to Nelly. It's not like a concert, it's just like a meet and greet. Apparently he has like a alcohol out or something like that. So again, as a Vegas content creator as well, I am going to like promote and market the event. I did a Vegas vlog recently, and you kind of see like the behind the scenes of what I get to do, getting to work with different businesses. And I wanted to show like me and my girlfriends, like all the lights that we take with us when we're producing content, just to kind of get like a behind the scenes of when you see me like out and about. Basically when you see me out and about, it's never for fun, for fun. Okay, I don't mean to say that in like a negative way, but it's typically always for work. Like I'm working with a brand, a casino, a lounge, a restaurant, an experience, something along those lines. It is part of my job now as a content creator. I do post, I would say my Instagram is mostly beauty still, but every once in a while I will post Vegas things. Like I went to a restaurant recently and I did like a do's and don'ts of when you go to that restaurant, and I like to be able to I don't know, I feel like I've never really been like a niche creator. Even when I was doing a lot of beauty, I was still doing other things or talking about other things. So I just don't feel like I'm ever very niche, because I just don't even know how to be. I think I would be so bored and I would stop. So I do definitely like beauty. I do a lot of lip combos and swatch videos over there, but then I also show my life in Vegas as well, and that vlog kind of gives you the behind the scenes. You see me like sitting at home in so many meetings for creators and friends. You know, again, we're a brand new business starting, you know, wanting to expand and grow, and that leads to a lot of things like building our websites and building our database and our email list and different things like that. So you see me like in a lot of meetings and at home, which is where I spend most of my days. But then also you get to see me out and how it looks when I'm recording my content for these different places, which is So fun for me. My skin is looking really nice. I'm gonna set everything with my Laura Mercier powder, including my under eyes, because I haven't done that yet. But honestly, like, this looks so good right now. So I'm so shook. But like I said, I have Nelly and it's gonna be outside, and then I do have a dinner tonight as well. So we will see how everything holds up. What I have been doing kind of for my YouTube schedule is I do a haul, like I did a Creators and Friends haul, and then I will do a first impressions, which is what I'm doing now. In a couple weeks, I'll come back and I'll do a get ready with me, and I'll kind of give my thoughts as I've been trying out the makeup for, you know, a couple of weeks. And then lastly, I will come on and talk about, you know, give my reviews and share if I am planning to keep the products or declutter them. Because I've still been trying to keep a more minimal makeup collection. So I figure that's a way for me to haul the makeup, get your feedback on what you really want to see in the like first impression videos, and then follow-ups, and then decide if I'm going to keep or declutter. So I'll come back in a couple weeks to do my get ready with me with these products. I'm excited to see how that one holds up. So that's a little bit about that. You know, we obviously also got a lot of questions about like, are we including men on the trips and that sort of thing. For our holiday party, again, we also, like, we invited a lot of people to the holiday party. I think we were, I don't know, I think maybe, I don't know if Simbri was, because I can't speak for her. But I think for me, I was almost maybe a little bit surprised that we had like so many people decline. I was like, what? This sounds like so much fun. Like if it was me getting invited, I would be like, hell yeah, I'm coming. But again, you know, everyone, the families and work and holiday time and costs and all the things. We had a lot of male creators that we invited. We did not have any show up. We did have one non-binary creator come to the holiday party. And then we do also have a non-binary creator coming on a future trip with us as well. We do want to host, you know, more single day parties as well, which is where we can have, you know, a little bit of an extended guest list also. But like I said, as we keep going and people get more familiar with Creators and Friends, and we're able to add more creators to the database and maybe just become more well known, you know, hopefully more people will want to come to our events, or will say yes to our invitations. That would be so exciting. But we definitely do have male creators, non-binary, as well as female creators on our database, and we just will hopefully keep expanding that. For my eyes, I do want to do something. Okay, in my mind I'm going to say fairly simple, but it's because I'm only going to use, I think, one of the stained glass shadows, but these are so beautiful from Cliondah. They're not in here very cute because I did a swatch video for them the other day and I just kind of like threw them all in here. But okay, I think I'm wearing a green dress. I just texted Ashley to be like, yo, where you at, girl? And I was like, I haven't picked my outfit yet. My hair's still in rollers. I'm still filming. But I was trying to decide between Alloy. It might be that one. It's gonna match my dress. It's like the green Halara dress. I hauled it recently. Or Electron. No, okay. Yeah. It's gonna be, yeah. It's gonna be Alloy. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I also did get a discount code with Cliondah. I'm so excited. So it's just a Samantha. So I'm just gonna take that Alloy shade and just run this all over. Again, I'm very much attracted to like simple, easy eye looks. I might throw a little something in the crease, but honestly, like I just kind of wanted to let this shadow like do its own thing. And these are so beautiful. I do have a swatch video. It's probably up as a short, if not. I post like 2 to 3 reels on Instagram a day. I like to post my swatch videos. And I just realized Ashley's coming over and I'm wearing green eyeshadow. What if she shows up and she's wearing green eyeshadow? I mean, I bet she's not, but like, what if she was? That would be wild. Wild, I say. I've also been doing some just like goofy reels with Ashley. And I know I gotta make her film one because I filmed my parts today, but she still has to film her parts, so I have to make her do it before we go see Nelly. But isn't that so beautiful? Oh, see, and now I get to the point where like I just want to keep applying. I'm like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's good. You did it. It's like so sparkly. And it's just so, yeah, that's gonna be perfect. Perfect for Nelly. Honestly, like, I genuinely don't even feel like I need anything in the crease. These shadows are so easy to use and they're such good one and done shadows, and that's just like, that is my vibe. I want to try this eyeliner from Surratt because it's like the nude pencil to help brighten the eyes. And I did a video recently with a Vegas makeup artist, and she came over here and she did my makeup, and she was talking about how white in the waterline really brightens and opens up the eyes, and she was using the NYX the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. And I was laughing because as she's doing my makeup, I'm not really like seeing anything, right? And she's like, oh, white opens the eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, have you heard of the NYX Jumbo Pencil? And she literally holds it up and she's holding the one in Milk. I was like, that was funny. Did not even plan that moment. But Helene from Surratt was saying the beige helps open the eyes as well. And that you can also put it into the inner corner. I'm just gonna do my waterline with this one for now. If you see, like, it just helps like make you look a little bit more awake. Hey. Usually I do a wing. I'm gonna try not to do a wing today. You know what? I'm gonna try not to do a wing today because I like the green eyeshadow on its own. So I want to keep the eye look like, I'm leaning towards like a very simple, very simple eye look. I don't know how much more simple I can get, but that's what we're leaning towards today. And then I'm going to use the Beyond mascara from City Beauty. I was so excited they gave us one of these because I've gone through like, I don't even know, I've gone through like 5 at this point. So I was super excited to get another one. I do have a code with City Beauty as well. It is Samantha M. They gave us some of my favorite products. They sponsored our bathrooms. So we had like City Beauty decals on the mirrors, and we had like little setups in there. They gave us customized skincare bags, which was super cute. But the body balm, incredible. The lip oil, incredible. They gave us another one. I had it in my last empties video, so excited about that. But I also really do enjoy the Beyond mascara. So I'm going to apply this to my top and bottom lashes. I see some questions come in of like, what is the like goal with creators and friends, and like what's next, and like what do we like want out of creators and friends, that sort of thing, right? So obviously I've spoke the entire time about wanting to expand, grow our database, be able to work with more creators, be able to give more creators some of these experiences, be able to work with more brands, be able to continue to, you know, kind of authentically link creators and brands as well. So far, you know, in 2023 we did one event. In 2023 we did one trip and one single day event. In 2024 we have 2 trips on the calendar and a single day event, and we really hope to be able to do a lot more by 2025. We have 2 trips on the calendar for 2025. There's a lot more, again, single day events that we would like to do all around. For me personally, something that is important to me is like being able to hit things like the Midwest. I'm from Iowa and nothing was ever there. I was always having to travel to like LA or New York, and again in the beginning, I just wasn't able to afford it. It was funny because I was just talking to someone about this. It might have been my friend Linda or Joy. I don't know. Sometimes when I talk to my friends on Marco Polo and I just wake up, literally the whole conversation is me being like, yeah, and then like I was thinking about, because I'm like literally half asleep while I'm walking. But I was talking about when I was first ever invited to a Generation Beauty, and it was in 2017, I'm pretty confident. And I remember I was driving in the truck with my ex-husband, and we were driving to a Mexican restaurant. This is like how much this memory like sticks out to me. I got the email and I read it on my phone and I started crying because I was so excited. And I didn't quite realize what the email was entailing. It was like, we want to invite you to Generation Beauty. And I was like, oh my gosh, everybody goes to Generation Beauty. Like, I can meet other people there and like meet brands and have these opportunities and, you know, network and, you know, potentially expand. And at the time I was still a very new creator in the beauty space. You know, I came from the book world and I didn't start doing beauty until 2016. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so exciting for me. I can't believe I get to go, all these things. And, you know, my ex-husband's looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm crying on the way to a Mexican restaurant. And I'm trying to explain to him like what a big deal this is. And then I read the email again and it's like, basically they were just saying like, you can come. Like if you want a ticket, you can buy a ticket. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, they're like inviting me. Like, I don't know. But no, it was like you had to buy a ticket, which was like hundreds of dollars. And then on top of that, obviously it was in New York, so I would have to pay for my plane tickets. I would have to pay for a hotel, all of those things. And we just could not afford it at the time. You know, I wasn't making any money in social media. I was basically hemorrhaging money when it came to social media and trying to start my career. And we were just in a position where financially, like, I could not go. And again, that's why I say with creators and friends, we have creators that cannot go because they cannot financially do it. And I understand that fully because I was there not that long ago. I was in that same boat. I wanted to go to Generation Beauty so badly, and I really thought it could make a difference. I honestly credit that first Generation Beauty for really sparking the idea in my mind that eventually became Creators and Friends. It sparked something in me of, I feel so inspired and motivated to be around these other creators. How can I be around them more? That's what inspired it. It inspired some of the meetups that I have done with other, I've never done a meetup solo. I've always done it with my other friends who are content creators because I want to be around them. I want to meet you guys and I want to be around my friends. So really going to that first one, it sparked so much in me that I don't know what would have happened if I didn't go to that first one in 2018. But I knew I was so sad that I had to say no to that one in 2017. I thought, I will do anything. I will work so hard. I will save my money. I will not buy entire freaking makeup collections because I want to go to the next one if I'm able to get invited again. And in 2018, I was able to get invited and I went and boom. And then what was I even talking about? Oh, about how like nothing ever came to the Midwest, so I would have to travel. So it's just like little things like that that I try to keep in the back of my mind, that when I do, like when I am in the process of planning things, that I'm like, let's try to hit places that don't normally have these types of events, because again, places like New York and LA, they're very expensive, not only to travel to, but to get like hotels and things like that. That's always, you know, pretty darn expensive. Just something that I try to stay aware of, but we would definitely love to host more. You know, I work a lot of different jobs. I'm a full-time content creator. I do beauty, I do Vegas. I'm also an author. I've written 9 books. My 10th book is almost done. I do a lot of behind the scenes. I do a lot of like consulting with brands. I do a lot of like marketing for them as well in beauty and in Las Vegas. So I'm very busy. I'm on my computer all day. I'm in meetings all day. I'm on my phone all day. So I wear a lot of different hats, but I would definitely love to be able to do something more full-time in event planning and with Creators and Friends. My partner Simbri does work a full-time, you know, traditional job as well. And again, not speaking for her, but I think that she would really love to do something like this full-time. I think that we work really well together, and it's so funny because we are literally the most opposite people of opposite lands. Like I don't even know what to say. Like we are not alike in literally any way, shape, or form. But sometimes I think that makes for good business partnerships. We have different strengths, we have different weaknesses, and somehow we end up working very well together, which I think is fantastic. You know, Simbri had to take literally the brunt of Charleston when I wasn't able to go because of Aries. And I've always admired Simbri. I met her for the first time in 2019, and she put together a creator event in LA and invited me to it. And she did that on her own. And I have always really looked up to her. I remember at one point I was like begging her to be my manager. Like I was like, you should really go into like influencer management. I think you would be great at it. Like, and so now it's like so funny to be working with her because she's so smart. She is so hardworking. Like I literally, like I think I'm a hard worker and I think I'm very motivated, and being self-employed, you have to have discipline, right? And like there's days where I'm like, I'm gonna crush today. And then I get on my computer, because she is 3 hours ahead of me because she's East Coast. I get on my computer and she's already done like half my to-do list for the day. And I'm like, how in the how? Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. To be able to have a business with someone who is so invested in the dream, someone who's so invested in our vision and in our goals, someone who really cares about people. And it just makes me really happy that somehow in this, you know, crazy world that we were able to find each other and start something together. So I just have a lot of respect for Simbri, and I'm really, really grateful that she is my partner. So I know that we would both love to, you know, have this continue and grow, and we don't get paid from Creators and Friends. So I think that we would both like love one day to be able to like earn a paycheck from doing this, because we do put a lot of hours and time and energy into it. With any business, you know, unless you're a nonprofit, most of them are for profit, and that does mean that you're trying to make a profit and make a paycheck. I think that's something that we would really love as well. I do have a lot of really big ideas in mind that I would love to do that are even bigger than the single day events, that are even bigger than the trips. Again, going back to like what I was working on for 2020, it's been exciting to pull out those plans again and think about everything that I had in mind and how to, again, the goal is to create those connections within our community, is to be able to bring people together, to inspire them, to motivate them, to share knowledge with them. to give them opportunities to network, to hopefully be able to grow and expand. To me, it's really exciting to bring in founders because there's a lot of creators that I know that want to start their own businesses in beauty and beyond. Be able to talk to other business owners, I think, is such a huge thing. So that's something that's, you know, something that I'm gonna keep trying to do with creators and friends. Definitely excited to see where we go. You know, after New Orleans, I had multiple creators pull me aside one-on-one to say, especially some like newer faces to us, to say like, I didn't really know what to expect, but this was better than anything that I could have imagined, and what you're doing is so special, and like keep going. Like we really see this being like a big thing. And to me, it's a little bit overwhelming because I definitely have a fear of success, which is hilarious. I genuinely don't think I really have a fear of failure. I have a fear of success, which is something that I've tried to unpack in therapy. You can always tell when I talk about stuff in therapy because I start to cry about it. So to hear people say that, I think puts a lot on my shoulders. Again, Simbury and I are two friends and two content creators that had a very simple idea: let's take a girls trip. And we've somehow managed to make a business out of it. And I'm really excited, and I hope that we can continue to grow, and I hope that we can make it a big thing, and I hope it really makes a difference. I hope it's impactful. I hope it's impactful in the same way that those Generation Beauties impacted me and my career and my friendship. Makeup Molly for the first time at a Generation Beauty, and she just came out to Las Vegas and stayed with me for 4 days. You know, she's become one of my favorite people, you know, one of my friends that we can talk to about anything without judgment. You know, I was telling her all kinds of things about my divorce and how it feels like to start over, and you know, the really like deep things that I think about these days. And I knew that I could talk to her about it and that she wouldn't judge me or think down on me or think I'm crazy or any of those things. And I met her at a Generation Beauty. I met Linda or Glitter Fallout at a Generation Beauty event. I met Jenlo's Reviews at a Generation Beauty event. So many of these creators who are now my friends, you see where the name came from, I met because of those events. So if we can somehow foster these friendships through our events, I know how much they changed me and how much they helped me. And that's all I want to do. Like, it's like a pay it forward kind of thing, I guess. But that's what I care about. I think a lot of people have been able to see through my channel and through my social media that I really care about connecting people, and not necessarily just to me. Like the group trips that I take, the group chats that I have, the community challenges that I've done, the live chats that I've done, even just the comment section of this video. You know, I saw someone comment in my Vegas blog, and she's going through a really hard time, and at the end she said, I just really needed to get this off my chest, and thank you to anyone who's reading this comment. And people are putting in so many supportive comments. That's always what I really have cared about. Like, I could just be in the background the whole time. That's what, like, at Creators and Friends, like when I'm just in the background and I'm like help setting up, like that doesn't bother me at all. I would rather other people be able to connect with one another, and that's what I care about. So I just feel like I'm getting to do that in a bigger way with Creators and Friends, and it makes me really happy. So I hope I can just keep doing my best at it. But we're gonna finish off with the lips. I feel like this is a very long video. So I have some indie makeup, some more indie makeup here to use. From Unearthly Cosmetics, I'm going to use the lip pencil in Cafe. And then from Fantasy Cosmetica, I'm going to use the lipstick in the shade Hidden. So cute. It has like little books all over it, which I just thought was so freaking adorable. Not gonna lie, I love a brown lip, and it's making me feel kind of 90s vibes, which is so perfect for Nelly. Am I right? I told Ashley to think of her favorite Nelly song, and she just said, oh yeah, good idea. And I was like, but did you think of it? I'm so curious. What's your favorite Nelly song? Honestly, I want to say mine is Batter Up, but I do love Country Grammar, okay? How can you not love Country Grammar? Like, for real. But I want to ask everyone who's going tonight what their favorite Nelly song is. So Ashley to think about it. She got me my +1. Someone asked the other day, like, how do you like being friends with a content creator? She was like, great, everything's free. I was like, thanks. But we get to go see Nelly together, so yee. Okay, so this lip is more of a satin lip. I usually go for a matte or a gloss, but that shade is really pretty, and I think that I blend it nicely with the lip liner. I'm just gonna do like a little like blend out with my fingers there, just to like kind of make it look a little bit more matte, because that's what I'm into. But Oh, she's cute. So I haven't tried anything from Fantasy Cosmetica. So I have an eyeshadow palette to try. Now I do also have the lip. So it is time to finally take the hair out of these rollers. So taking my rollers out, but if you have any other questions on Creators and Friends, you can always leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them. And yeah, I don't know, I guess it's just like, it's so crazy to me because I was saying in my Vegas vlog, because I was like working on like you saw me in like meetings and things like that for Creators and Friends, but I was just saying that it's like Simber and I worked on the concept for so long that it's kind of wild that it's like out there now. But just like a friendly reminder that we are still, you know, a small business and a new business. And again, like I said in the vlog that our Charleston and our New Orleans trip was planned before we ever launched Creators and Friends. Like those trips were already put into motion before anyone even knew like what Creators and Friends was. It's so crazy to me now that it's like out there, because it was just something that was like, it was in our minds for a while, and then, you know, then we started like working on the concept. It's exciting that it's out there now, and hopefully it will help us to continue to grow and expand and all of those fun things. And really looking forward to the events that we have coming up. You know, I love traveling, so I'm always like down to be going wherever. So we go to Palm Springs in September, which I am super excited for. I'm excited for our 2025 destinations. And stay tuned. Again, if you want to follow along Creators and Friends on Instagram, we'll be posting different updates along the way. And make sure to let us know if you want to get added to the database so we can email you for future events. But here's the hair. We got to put some oil in it, you know, maybe brush it. Maybe brush it out a little bit and then get changed. And I am off to Nelly. But I will say for the products, I really liked everything from Salt New York. Like, and I think my skin is looking so good. I'm very curious to see how it holds up. I feel like all of my matches worked really well for me. The Cliondah Cosmetics eyeshadow is just beautiful. Again, I have swatches of all of those stained glass shadows. I like my lipstick. The Fantasy Cosmetica I do just wish was like a matte lip, but that's just like a personal preference of mine. The lip liner is very nice though. I like the Surratt Eyeliner. I do enjoy the City Beauty mascara, which I know. That's gonna be everything for this Get Ready With Me. I hope you enjoyed seeing it and hearing a little bit more about Creators and Friends. Thank you to everyone who has supported the business so far. I know Simber and myself as small business owners, we very much appreciate it, and we look forward to doing more in the future. Thanks for watching.